Hello and thank you for joining me today. This is Rosina Starr. This video is entitled The Controlling Narcissist, Conversation Tactics versus Healthy Responses. So this video is meant to help people with awareness ahead of time for conversations that could happen in the future with people that have narcissistic traits or they are narcissists themselves. And so you can either decide to proceed with that relationship, or you can just cut it off like a bad limb and move on, which would be the right decision, I would think. So let's just say, you're talking to this person on the phone and, a controlling person wants to dominate a conversation. They'll let you talk about yourself at first, but sometimes it seems like the conversation always goes back around to them. Like you're almost just somebody that they are trying to just vent to, take out their problems to. They're obsessed about something. Narcissists tend to obsess a lot in their mind, but they also do it to other people about other people because they're so parallel-minded that they can't seem to get lost in somebody else's world just for the right reasons for helping them for their own, personal interest. It's always got to be this hidden agenda. So a controlling person, they'll generally just listen to, maybe some of what you say. They interrupt a lot. And at that point you can say, you know what? I think you've interrupted me now about 3 or 4 times. And this can be somebody you've been talking to for, I don't know, a good amount of time. And I've done that with somebody. They have actually been a good person to talk to up into a certain amount of time, and all of a sudden, it just changes. She had a way about her that was disrespectful to me, that didn't care about me at all with empathy. They claim they're a certain type of person, and they'll repeat it to you constantly. Anybody who has to tell you who they are, that is a red flag in my mind right there. That's controlling, starting to control your thought processes of what you think, instilling a pattern without you really knowing it on a subconscious level. So it's almost like your freedom to really think them to be a certain way is already startled because they want to already tell you at the beginning, well, this is who I am and this is what I've been through and this is how it is. Well, an emotionally intelligent person, people that you want to surround yourself with form their own judgments. So if somebody's going to talk bad about this person to me and I don't have any evidence of it, and I don't see what they're seeing, and I don't have that experience with that person, that is what I tell someone about that type of person, is I don't have those experiences about that person. I'm sorry that that happened to you or you feel that way. Or if they ask invasive questions about that person, I'm sorry, I really can't speak for them. Anytime there is a chance to react in a way that's not flattering to the other person and that really would get you in trouble, pay attention to those conversations. They're almost like bait traps, and they're not to your favor. There's a reason somebody is trying to get you to speak. Now, when we're talking about, a controlling partner, let's just say you meet a guy and you're at your house and you're kind of hanging around him, and money's an issue because he maybe lives off the government. He doesn't even have a job, but he's a grown man and he's going to take care of me, and all these empty promises, right? To the moon and back. Think again, ladies. That is far from the truth. This can be like, this man comes up, oh, we're going to, buy a house in Florida, and we're going to, get this trading system going. We're going to make all this money, and we're going to have all this time, and we're going to run away together. And, he's making $1,200 a month. This guy isn't anything but a sham. And he's using his scripture game and how he's good in church and how he goes to church and he's Secretary of State for LDS churches, and now he's got this woman believing in this other faith, and she was raised Catholic, raised her kids Catholic, didn't even want to see her kids be with no other race, yet she's dating other races? That's a hypocritical, narcissistic couple, they both guilty of the same crime. In the laws of the world, in the universe, they both have these tendencies to deceive themselves about each other. So, in midst of what I'm telling you, as he's telling her all this stuff, and then he's like, oh, I need money for my car note this month. Oh, I want to go buy this Genesis car. I got no money down. I need a co-signer. You know what you tell him? No, I'm not going to do that. I don't feel it's the right thing for me to do. I don't feel that it's the right thing for me to help you with any of the things that you're asking me to do. And a manipulator, controlling person is automatically going to say, well, after all I've done for you, why? How could you not want to? Is there, it's a negotiation. Is there something I can do? And they won't take no for an answer. They're relentless. It's something you just got to say no. I won't be rewarding somebody that doesn't have the means to do for themselves what I can do for myself. Because then that's taking away from my happiness, taking away from me. And it could be with anything. You want to put this meal on your credit card and repay me? And I'm the woman helping you out, letting you stay and live off of me? It's just foolish. I mean, how can you be controlled? The control goes back and forth, but at the end of the day, somebody's always resentful of the other if it's a game of power and control between couples. He really isn't a man. He's not even considered really an essential to have around if he's draining you and you're giving a lot more than you're getting. And if sex means that much to you, that's pretty sad. Because there's so much more to a relationship in life than what you can dream up in your head and you wish was there. And you fall in love potential to what might be coming. Falling in love with hopes and dreams. Meantime, you're making his food, doing his dishes, mowing the lawn, doing the laundry, paying the bills. Oh, he gives you a couple $100 a month to hang around, monopolizes a room in your house on the computer, doesn't want to lift a finger. But this is a grown man in his 50s. And then we have, sexual boundaries. A controlling person is, gonna chat you up, on a phone call. Oh, I want to get to know you sexually. And you told this man you don't want to talk about sex and you don't want to have sex for 6 months. And yet he's sitting there forcing you with conversation or even physically trying to push something. That is a red flag that right then, you should get out of that type of relationship. You need to delete and block these types of people. I honestly believe it's some kind of nasty spirit inside them that's making them, try to consume you, because when you have a sexual exchange of energy with somebody, because that's what sex is, not to be taken lightly, is you're actually giving them access to your inner being, because we all have a mind, a body, and a spirit. We have a soul, we live in a body, spirit and mind. So when we're exchanging that with somebody else, we're definitely going to get a little bit of what they have in them, spiritually and otherwise, and we're definitely going to be giving a little bit of what we have to them, which is usually better of what we have to offer them, more of a healthy state of mind with, the guy or whoever, and then we're feeling drained, we're feeling at a loss, we're feeling kind of depressed at the end of everything, when really we should feel exhausted but exhilarated in a good way. But we're not. So you can really shut a controller down and know that they're going to be domineering with no means to pay the cost to be the boss, which seems absolutely ridiculous. Things may not even start out that way. But if they turn to be that way, ladies, you need to start at the beginning of thinking of a strategic plan from the beginning. If this man turns out to be XYZ, based on your past bad track history, start planning that out and don't tell anybody about it, not even a friend or somebody that's supposed to be a friend. You keep it to yourself. Success takes strategic planning and, real careful ways of living and being. Be careful about the way you live. Be happy about the way you live. Shine when you go out and meet people. Help somebody out without a second thought about what you get out of it. And another thing, people can just have these ways of manipulating women, men can, and it's almost like a pimp and hoe relationship. I'm sorry to use the term, but that is what I feel is happening here. They find a girl that is in a desperate situation for love, whether she's an addict. They create this trauma bond through extreme highs and lows, which make you miss the chemicals in your brain and throws you way off. And you know why you're irritated around that person? Because they don't want to give you those extreme highs or lows, and they're withholding from you. So you're almost like an addict jonesing for a hit. Sounds really insane, right? There are examples, and we can talk about those later. But it's like, don't pimp yourself out for a man. Don't be somebody that sits there and gets manipulated and controlled and thinking, all these plans in the future, more waiting, more, give me what I want in the moment, and, I'll do this for you later, all these IOUs, See, and I don't play those games anymore. I don't, just because a guy says, well, I'm not able to do this for you. Honey, I can't do that right now. Well, just because you can't do something as a man to help me as your woman, or who you want to be as your woman, doesn't change the fact that I still have that need that doesn't get met. You know what that means? We're not a good fit. See ya. Next. Bye. And I don't care how long you've been together. These guys want to act like they know you have the resources. They know you have the means. They're thinking of a way to get away from you. They're thinking of the right things to say. They're thinking of how they need to hang around. They're thinking of how they can misdirect your attention to what, this is over here, so you don't really see what's going on. And the silence is just sometimes them plotting, them scheming of what they want or what they do. If they're not doing anything big with their time and they don't have this big time career, you can bet nothing good is coming from that man's unproductive use of time. And you're lying and deceiving and dishonoring yourself to sit there and justify it. And you can go talk to every toxic relationship group, but when you want to move from a toxic relationship group advice mentality to just sit and hear you vent and complain and want to make a change, that's why there's life coaches. That's why there's therapists. That's why there's videos for specific needs, and some information is free. You have to get out there and want to make the change instead of sit there in a helpless situation, and maybe it's not your fault you're there, but it's your fault if you stay there for too long. So I want to just make everybody aware, a controller is somebody that doesn't take no for an answer, does not respect your boundaries, that doesn't acknowledge your feelings, you can talk to in the room and will ignore you, doesn't hear anything that you ask because questions aren't important, won't give you an answer because your question is irrelevant, or it's stupid to them and they don't want to answer it. They can't answer it because they can't manipulate you with an answer. So they'll say your question is stupid. I think that question has more to do about you as a person than it has to do about me. No, actually, you can't give me an answer, which means I don't need to be talking to you any longer because my question was a legitimate question. And see, they're preying on people that want to know what this complicated thing is, or that want to figure this out, maybe addicted to reasoning. So anyway, I hope this video helped you know a few things about controlling people and how to guard yourself from it. Thank you for joining me. Please like, share, and subscribe. Rosina Star.